Rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
You'll see here the human male boasts the size of his testicles. I drive great when I'm blood. It's all about the sauce. Good, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh man, speaking of fucking, you want popcorn? I'll give you a popcorn kit. I'm just trying to go to Colorado and smoke some weed. Watch your fucking tots, huh? Those are my biscuits. Now, this is all alleged.
Welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse, and today we are joined by kink activist, author, YouTuber, and podcaster Nicholas Tanek. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you very much for having me. Both of you are awesome. Love the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thanks, man. You're awesome too.
We
We
appreciate
really dig what you do.
Everybody should subscribe and support your Patreon.
it. Sweet.
Another endorsement. You could always use
We'll
that.
always take that, yeah. Do you mind telling our audience a little bit about yourself, giving them an idea of who you are?
Definitely. I am an author. I wrote 3 books. The first one was The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself, which is a memoir. First of all, everything I write is just true stories. I suck at writing fiction, so it's a true story about me in the falling in love and being in the rave scene and dealing with drug addiction, and then kind of healing myself through kink, and also dealing with the pain of loss because she dies. And it's not a spoiler because right in the beginning, in the first, it says she dies. So, and then I wrote a book about the New York punk rock scene, which is also true, called Shit Black Nail Polish. And then I wrote a book called Your Kinky Friends. And it's about a bunch of people in the kink community, the BDSM kink community in New Jersey, New York, who are just going through some stuff, and how sexual expression and honesty and kink has helped everyone heal. So that started, and that a bunch of fans and friends in the kink community started a chat group, and we started a network called Your Kinky Friends. It's at yourkinkyfriends.com, and we have articles. We have different podcasts involved, like Black People Kink, which is about it's a podcast about Black people who love kink, and we have the Blunt Mommy podcast is involved in that. We have Questionable Behavior podcast. We have After the Credits, which is just about movies. Shout out to Rob. And but main thing that I'm doing is these interviews, where I'm doing these interviews on a video, and I'm interviewing a lot of dominatrixes, a lot of burlesque performers, a lot of authors, stand-up comics, other podcasters, and seriously, you name it, activists, a lot of activists, from SWAP and which is sex workers, so like you name it. And I've interviewed so many people, and I tend to interview more, and soon I'm going to go on tour and have some live shows. It's going to be like a cabaret, which should be fun.
Nice.
But that's a lot of work that we got to get to do. But yeah, so it's Your Kinky Friends. I'm Nicholas Tanek from Your Kinky Friends, yourkinkyfriends.com. Check it out.
Definitely should check it out. It's well put together. We were checking it out before the show. We really dug what you had, and easy to see a lot of your video interviews, which are all very interesting and
Very
quite
visual,
too.
I have to say,
very,
too.
very visual.
Well,
Be prepared.
It's funny that you say that, because although I love podcasting, a lot of podcasting is just audio. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to do something a little different. Like, I wanted to put faces to the name. So everybody I interview, and I totally respect people's confidentiality and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like, if I interview somebody, I want them there. I want to see their face. Like, for example, there was this woman I interviewed, and she shits on people, and she full on. She's like, Mistress Pump, POMF. Great. I interviewed twice, and she's like, "Eat my shit." She will look right into it, and then I got like hypnotists and stuff like that. So I think it adds something different. Not that there's anything wrong with just the audio aspect, because when I'm driving my car, I can't watch videos, and honestly, I don't really. I like to listen to my interviews as opposed to watch them. But I think it's always fun, especially when like people bring sex toys out and stuff like that.
Totally. There's definitely a visual element to the people that you're having on, so it's worthwhile to check out both.
Yeah, I did neon rice, and I had to slap myself with the diabolical sadist. Oh, Chloe, yeah. She made me slap myself with a fly swatter while I.
It's like, who's running the show here?
No, totally.
I guess that comes in with the line of work, right?
Right. How do you end up coming into contact with the people that you have on?
That's a good question. It's funny that you ask. I'm just friends with kinky people, and kinky people know other kinky people. So you just kind of like, hey, you should interview this person. Okay, I'll do that. But now it's getting on a level where people are contacting me. Like, I literally have a booking agent. Her name is Erin, and she's doing this out of the love. She wow. Yeah, and she sent me all these phone numbers and emails, and she's a woman who goes to these dominatrixes. And she's like, I want you to interview these people. And I'm like, okay, I don't know you, and okay, I'll contact them. And now she is literally going after these other people and setting up. And she in one day, 24 hours, she set up 2 interviews for
wow.
people. Yeah. And she like,
just out of the goodness of her heart.
Yeah. It's just that, just out of the goodness of her heart.
It sounds like that's an aspect of the community that you've been talking about that is sort of built around this. It does seem like there's a lot of support there, and there's a lot of like love for what each other are doing. So it's like, why not get involved with someone?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, okay, so both of you, all right. What are you guys into?
I knew this question was going to come up for some reason.
I'm not shy, dude. I'm into a lot. Like, I definitely experimented with a lot of bondage, the simpleton, I feel like thing, that's a lot of fun, but like just different things in general, man, like it's always fun. I feel
definitely like a little rope goes a long way.
yeah. True.
I've never gotten into any of that. Just never had the hardware make it into the bedroom.
Nothing.
No, not even really.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I've gotten some. Yeah,
I'm probably a lot more boring than you expect.
Damn, dude. I was man. This is podcast breaking news for American Slacker. I feel like.
Well, maybe I need suggestions. Maybe this is the thing I haven't been exposed to enough at this point.
Dude. Yeah, just surprise a girl, and you gotta be careful with that. I guess actually, it should be screaming at you.
Consent's important, man.
Oh yeah,
tying up out of nowhere.
That's important. But one thing is interesting is cancer. So Lynn had cancer when she was in and out of the hospital. I have to take her to the hospital over and over again. And what she would do is she would steal hospital restraints. Wait, hold on.
Oh damn.
Oh, we're getting the visual. This is why people need to watch the YouTube version of the show.
I get a feeling this is way better than anything you get at the corner store adult store.
This might beat the ghost hunting equipment.
Yeah,
dude. I'm still in shock. We're gonna have to talk about this.
These are old, but they're still useful. Yeah, she would, because when you have cancer and when you're on drugs, you're in treatment, you freak the fuck out, and these old hospital restraints really, they got stories to tell. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. It's a relic at this point. Yeah, I feel you. It's got a real sentimental value now.
Yeah, and that's the key of someone who is sexually expressive. It's like you could find you could find something sexual in almost anything. Like you go down to the kitchen, and there's a cutting board. Sometimes there's a cutting board has a little handle on it, and it's like, I wonder what this is going to sound if I smack her ass with it. You know what I mean? So, I've been smacked with a cutting board.
Was it the expected sound?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was louder than I expected. So yeah.
So is it just like when the inspiration, like you feel it when the inspiration hits you, you're like, that might be something there. I need to explore it. Is that how people should kind of approach?
Yes.
If they don't have their know what their kink is.
You know what it is? It's honesty. It's making sure you're not hiding something, making sure you're not trying to be someone who you're not. Like, okay, as men, we're trying to always be successful and have money and in control. But like, you know what? Sometimes we're not. Something, and the last episode I did of Your Kinky Friends, we joked around about me being a dom, and like I haven't had sex in about like 2 weeks, and that's long for me. And
it's a dry spell for you.
Yeah, and I live with my dom, and so my friend Luna, who we do play with, and we're polyamorous and all that shit, and she brought a bunch of sex toys over as a gift and left, and so I'm like, I text Melissa, she's downstairs, I'm upstairs, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to test these out on you. So basically, I dressed up like a doctor. I have a stethoscope. I had scrubs because she's a vet tech. So I had like these green scrubs, and I'm go to the new episode of Your Kinky Friends, and I had scrubs, and I literally took notes like with the clipboard on like, well, how does this feel? I used the violet wand.
Some R&D.
Yeah, and it was great. And the beauty of it is that because you could have fun with it, and because you could be honest with each other, that really truly makes a difference. And both of us were like walking on air the next day, like, oh, that was fun. It was so stupid. It was so ridiculous. It was like we laughed our asses off the whole time. But you know what? We had a good time, and
that's what matters in the end of it.
Yeah. And I'm sure exploring random desires really builds a whole new bond. At that point, which is really interesting to think about.
Support for American Slacker comes from Manscaped, who's the #1 in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels.
I don't know about you, Jesse, but I am sick and tired of being outmatched by these razors and traditional trimmers that you get in the store, and no matter what, they fucking snag your nuts.
That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. They have a Lawnmower 2.0 razor, which they have sent our way, has a proprietary skin-safe technology, so you won't get those nicks or snags on your nuts.
Nice! Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past.
Yeah, and with our 20% off code plus free shipping, you're going to be saving a bunch of money and getting some great products that won't end up making it look like a war zone down there.
All you got to do is enter Slackers at checkout. Manscaped.com. 20% off. Get your anti-chafing ball deodorant, your sweet Lawnmower 2.0. Your nuts will thank you later.
You can even rep them by getting yourself a Manscaped.com t-shirt. So head on over to Manscaped.com, 20% off at checkout, enter code SLACKERS.
Get your ball swag here.
Just so you know, this show is about scary stuff. So don't say I didn't warn you guys. And remember, don't be scared.
Murderous Minors brings true tales of children who have killed. Premeditated murders, accidental killings and deaths, from toddlers to 18-year-old killers, no one is too young to take a life. Join me, War Baby, as I try to tell these stories of the young who've killed, the lives they took, and even the ones who've been left behind. Why do children kill? What do we do with young killers? And do they kill again? And until next time, don't be scared.
All right. Now I'm gonna get deep. What are your random desires, you two?
Oh Jesus, dude. Jesus.
I don't think. See, you talked before about the whole being successful and doing the man thing. I feel like I'm too wrapped up in that, and I don't even know the answer to the question. I need a minute to think.
But, okay, so do you want to be like the Christian Grey BDSM type thing, or
That sounds fun.
I mean, that seems a bit much for me, you know, going all the way all the time. You know, I like variety. That's my thing.
yeah, me too.
That's
I'm the same way. I like
different. Sometimes it's got to be regular sex for me. Sometimes it's got to be something crazy. You know, like I don't
sometimes
know.
just like lazy sex, like in the morning, like
Dude, middle of the night.
Sometimes, yeah, the location I think is a big.
Location could be a big
Oh,
key.
yeah.
I've done art like role playing in location with bondage.
Okay.
Now you're gonna ask me how I've done this?
Yeah, I'm not, now I am.
I've had a van,
I had a van too. I took all the seats out.
so I had a whole system in there. Like it was ridiculous. Handcuffs hanging and rope and yeah.
I'm glad I didn't ride around in that van too much. I know exactly
Oh,
which van you're.
just
referring to.
kidding. You wrote songs in the back of that van.
Oh. We learned so much about each other.
Yeah.
Were they acoustic or on
Yeah.
keyboard?
Acoustic.
Because there's a difference.
Yeah, no, it was all acoustic.
So the guests that you've brought in, do you have ones that would say? I mean, I'm sure all of them left some mark on you in terms of their impact. But like, were there any that you were like, oh my god, I can't believe I've got this person, or the stories they told just kind of blew you out of the water?
Yeah, there's one called Madam C. She's out of, I believe she's out of Wales, or she's out in the UK. And she basically, I actually put on a fucking suit and tie just to interview her because she was like,
Wow.
I was so interested. She turns men into sissies, basically. She takes men and makes them into women. She locks her cock up in chastity. She puts them in garter belt stockings and dresses and makes them, and they pay her to clean and maintain their house and make movies and stuff like that. And like there's so, like just her accent is just so commanding. And then there's Mistress Mackenzie, who is amazing, who, you know, she took me on a tour of her personal dungeon. And it just like went on and on. Like I was like, "Oh, you're still going?" Like, "Oh, this is this is you know, this is the bedroom. This is where I have the adult babies." Okay, whatever. You know, this is my medical playroom where I dress up like a nurse, and this is this, and this is, you know, it just keeps on going, and it's great. It's very impressive. And of course, there are like Mistress T, who I love, who's fucking great. She just locks cocks up. She literally she'll put your cock in a chastity device, lock it up, and for months, for absolute months, it's pretty.
Question, because I've heard of chastity belts. I understand the concept, but how does it work for using the bathroom?
Oh yeah,
because if you're locked up for months,
you have to sit down, or it sprays everywhere. Yeah, you make a big mess.
Oh god.
Yeah, you make a big mess. But you know, in talking about other people, oh, the Lady Ascends. Oh, I love you, the Lady Ascends. She is a pagan love witch where she does like blood orgies and like, you know, I don't know if you know about the Wicker Man.
I've seen the movie, the Nicholas Cage movie, but I don't think that has anything to do with it.
No. Get the original one. Like, this woman ties people to trees and like cuts people, you know, and it's all consensual.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, back to chastity. Yeah, you got to sit down. You're gonna make a mess.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
So going back, you're in a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, you say that.
Now, what's it like? Do you both have no jealousy issues? I mean, or is that like, is that something that you have to deal with? Like it happens, you know, occasionally, or like, what's up with that?
That's an interesting thing. It's because we like to play. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I totally get that.
Like at the end of the day, I'll be there for you. You know, like like you're gonna come first. Someone like. Mm-hmm. Some pretty woman comes along, you know, they're important and they're fun and everything like that, but like, you know what, like, you've been there for me. And Melissa is someone who you know, she's not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and neither am I, but it's something that, like, we know that we're going to be there for each other. Like, for example, let me put it this way. Someone has a flat tire, like, we're going to fucking go and find out where they are and change that tire. You know what I mean? It's like, we're going to be there for each other. That's the point. And it's like, we just know that no one else is going to come in between us, you know, and if anyone else comes, we're not going to be with anybody else. And if they do come in between us, you know, they're going to be people who kind of embrace us as a couple and embrace, you know, the community and just kind of be cool with it. And that's it. And we're happier for that. And you know, you think that you would find that exhausting, but it's not. It really is relaxing.
Yeah.
It really is relaxing. And the fact that it's like, I don't have to go and like make sure I shave and I look all good and try to impress somebody. You know, it's like, you know, yeah, if you want to be part of our party, then let's be part of our party. You know what I mean? If not,
now, is that like do you guys like seek out, like, is it more like a side relationship, or is it like you guys tend to stick to like bringing somebody in as like a third?
No, we really don't. We're pretty picky about it. It's like in the sense that if we both like like, I'm attracted to this person. Oh, I'm attracted to this person too. A lot of it deals with sense of humor. You know, if you got the same sense of humor, then boom, you know.
So it is a third, like you're bringing in a third person to the relationship instead of like you guys like have side relationships.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, we do really everything together.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because I wasn't sure from before. Yeah, I feel like that's a little easier to deal with. It's when the side relationships, I feel like that's when really jealousy would probably come into play.
And what's interesting is that I hated myself when I was a jealous teenager. You know what I mean?
It's easy to fall jealous when you're young too, especially hormones.
Yeah, I literally hated myself that I was so jealous when I was, and I vowed to myself that I would never become some jealous guy again. So it's like, so I got married. I'm not married anymore, and I was just like, why don't you just go fuck other people? I got pissed. Okay. She got really pissed at me. It's like, how dare you say that? I was like, no, just fuck other people. I'll fuck other people too. It'll be funny. You know, just fuck other people.
Well, I'll fuck other people. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we got to lose. We're already married. We got to go through the fucking divorce. You know.
Yeah, man.
I was bad. I was a bad husband. This is a funny story. I had to go to Trenton which was, the capital of New Jersey. And I forgot when I was married. I forgot the date. So I had to call up my wife at work saying, I am at City Hall. What was the date we were married? She was pissed.
I can imagine, man.
I wonder why.
It's not one you forget.
If there's one thing we enjoy here at American Slacker, it's going to live events. Wouldn't you say, Jess?
Yeah, from you going to festivals, I like to go and see comedy. There's tons of stuff to choose from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who doesn't like a nice night out? And, who doesn't like to save a couple bucks on a night out? I mean, it's expensive to go out these days. Wouldn't it be nice if you could save a couple bucks, Jess?
I'm a cheap bastard, and you know it.
Me too, man. What if I told you you could save a small percentage on your tickets by just entering a code?
What code would that be?
Man, all you got to do, go to SeatGiant.com, enter the code SLACKER at checkout, and you're going to save quite a few bucks, actually. Not a small discount. It's a good amount. It's a decent amount.
So you're telling me I could go to my pickle hating fest for a small fraction of the cost of what it would normally be?
Dude, I'm telling you, you're probably going to get a drink on us if you enter the code SLACKER at checkout at SeatGiant.com.
Drink not guaranteed.
Hi, fuckers. I'm Jason Alme.
And I'm Christina Alme, and we're the hosts of Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
You should listen to our podcast if you like interviews with fascinating and insightful guests.
What recovery has done in my life, I shouldn't be alive right now, first off. So I'm already blessed just by my heart beating every day.
Or even silly and profane guests.
Remember that time I was 14 and I was sucking dick?
Or extreme profanity. I thought you were saying for a second. I was like, oh my God, your mom is right there. I was going to say in front of your mom. I mean, I know we've dropped the F-bomb in front of your mom a whole bunch, but we should not say the word in front of Joanne. Please, don't say in front of Joanne.
Or explicit tales of fuckery.
There's my buddy Chris standing in the aisle, pissing on the floor, pretending to be looking at an ironing board. Or shitty Samuel L. Jackson impressions?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Say what again? I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. Bro, you promised to stop making me do the Sam Jackson impression, you fucker.
Search for Shit Happens When You Party Naked on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Overcast, Soundcast, Undercast, Sound Pocket, and Pocket Sound.
I double dare you, motherfucker.
Speaking of funny stories, you had mentioned in one of the books you had written that there were a couple of funny stories relating to what is it? Is it parties or specific situations that came up? Or
oh my God, a lot. Yeah. What do you want to hear?
Well, I mean, I know you probably don't want to give away the whole book, but do you have anything that you can give away?
Okay. You want to talk about angel dust?
Sure.
All right. This is not in the book.
Exclusive.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about New Jersey, New York angel dust. Okay. So in the 80s, in the 90s, angel dust kind of like went crazy. And I don't know if you know anything about angel dust, but it's PCP, phencyclidine, and a lot of people would get cigarettes in formaldehyde. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
It really got out of control in the 90s. This is before Giuliani cleaned up New York, right? So I'm going through a breakup, and my friends go, "We're going to get high. We're going to go to New York. We're going to get high." I'm like, "Okay, great." So we go to New York, right? We go to New York, and we go to Harlem. We go to Spanish Harlem, and these people are the dealers. They're like 12, 13, 14 years old. Okay. And what they're doing is they're smoking. They what the police call dust bunnies, and the dust bunnies. Basically, kids are just smoking angel dust, not going to school, not doing anything, and they're just selling angel dust. And angel dust, I don't know if you know anything about angel dust, but it makes you fucking batshit crazy. And so what they were doing is they were throwing their handguns at each other across the street. right?
Wow.
And they were laughing. So like if like it would go across the street, boom, hit the concrete, and then it would go off, and then the bullets would ricochet, and they'd laugh like hysterically, and it was wonderful for them. You know, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm like 16, 17 years old, right?" So, all right. So we get our angel dust, and then we go back to New Brunswick, New Jersey. And then we're like, those kids are crazy, and I'm with a bunch of lunatics who are like, you haven't seen crazy yet. So I don't know if you know anything about New Jersey, but Route 18 is very busy. So they brought out a Frisbee. So we smoked some angel dust, and we play Frisbee across the Route 18, and like we're running across a busy highway. Like think about like a busy highway, like just cars going 60 miles an hour. You know, and just like college kids are like, "Wow, Rutgers!" You know, we could have killed somebody. It was so stupid. I don't recognize anybody. All right, so we're kind of coming down. We're coming down, and we're like, let's get a falafel. Okay, so we get a falafel on Eastern Avenue in New Brunswick, New Jersey. We get a falafel, and we have a bunch of friends of ours. And what happens is we sort of like, what are we gonna do? Like, all right, let's smoke more dust. So we take the angel dust and we put it in a blunt, and we lace the blunt with angel dust, and I don't know if you know this, but it smells fucking horrible. It's like you hit it, and you're like, all you need is one or two hits, right?
Me and a buddy, shout out to Taco, tried it one time, and dude, ridiculous. It smells like death. Yeah. It is the most disgusting thing. I tried very minimal amount of it, and it was enough to where I took like a hit or two, and I was like,
yeah.
So I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't do it. We laced it in with marijuana. Nah, didn't work.
This is like a thing. Like I highly suggest any of your listeners to not do. Don't do this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would. Yeah.
I don't know if you know about.
Don't do it.
Rutgers and New Brunswick, but there are like 4 stories, like buildings, like 4 stories. They're very like hipster buildings, like you know. And we're on the roof. And there's this woman. There's the one woman with us, and her name was Jenny. And she goes, "Let's go roof skipping." And I'm like, "What?
What?"
Roof skip.
I'm sorry.
And she hands us, and she just runs. She just fucking takes off, right? She just as he smokes a bomb. It goes. You know, and there she goes, and she's like out of a Marvel cartoon movie. She just goes and she just like soars over the roof, and I'm like, I could do that too. I want to do that, and we all go, and we have all these. These are all like 17, 18-year-old kids just running, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. And the first rooftop, right? First rooftop, I'm like. I feel like a superhero. It's great. I'm like, this is great. Second rooftop, feel like a superhero again. I'm like, I'm invincible. Then becomes the third. It's like Vertigo. It's like Alfred fucking Hitchcock.
Oh God.
So I almost make it, but I don't. But I grab the gutter, and I'm grabbing the gutter, and now my hands are like bleeding because it's the middle of the gutter, and I see this pipe, you know, from the gutter basically that goes down to the street, and I don't know if you know anything about New Brunswick, but let's just say it's very hipster, like very hipsterish, you know. So I get onto the gutter and I just slide down. Blood just going through the whole thing, right? There's just blood going through the whole thing. And I slide down, like, get up. And there's this hipster who is standing there in a robe, and he's got a little kitten in his hand, in his arm. And he's got glasses. He's got long hair. He's a student. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm covered with blood all over my hands. And I just go, angel dust, and I'd leave.
At least you gave him an explanation. You know? I would have been wondering for years what the hell that was about.
Yeah, so kids out there, just stay away from angel dust. Stick with pot.
Yeah.
So, speaking of weed, how's the climate in New Jersey feeling these days?
It's good. I mean, I don't do it as much. I do it, but I just eat all the time when I do it. And, and I'm trying to, keep my weight. And, Melissa's, because every time she does it, she just wants. She's a great cook, so she just starts cooking shit.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That'll be a problem. Oh yeah, I feel you.
Pumpkin seeds, lentil soup, and all this stuff.
All the fall foods.
Yeah, but it's getting better. I mean, I personally think hopefully it will be legal soon, and it should be, especially with our new governor. But I'm voting for it. Let's do it. Let's decriminalize it. Let's pay taxes, and I'm willing
to legalize.
Yeah,
legalize it.
Yeah,
Fuck decriminalize. It's decriminalized here in New York, and you know what? It still get me a ticket if I get caught with it. It's bullshit. It's a whole myth. Like they make it seem like it's a big thing, but decriminalization is not a good thing. Like it's just a small step. We want legalization.
Yeah, totally.
People can actually manufacture an organic product that people can safely consume instead of buying black market products that contaminate fucking with pesticides or mites or whatever else they have.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and if you get especially new people from New Jersey, New York, they will totally make it legit. They will totally make it legit.
Oh yeah,
health purpose. If it's just legally we can do it.
It would be two of the heaviest hitters. Yeah, next to California and Colorado. I mean, for sure, the industrial market would be insane.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Massachusetts is like the only one in the Northeast that's really gone
Fucking
that far
smart.
yet. So
yeah,
they're making tons of cash off the rest of the states at the moment. But yeah, no, it's always interesting. I always like to ask our guests kind of what the climate is like for cannabis around their areas.
It's still something like I can't because I was such a reckless person when I was younger, where I'd smoke pot while I was driving and stuff like that, and like I definitely do not do any bullshit like that anymore. But I was young and dumb, and I was a teenager. But it should be. People are opening up to it, and one thing I do notice is that older people who have nothing to do with pot culture are also opening up to it, and that's a good thing. Just I don't know. We gotta kind of take our time and just keep pushing, and I think personalities, just like kink culture, if you talk to people and you humanize it, then people will be okay with it, and that's what I think we should do.
And I guess to bring it back to kink culture, since that is why we have you on, what I want to ask, what is like one of the biggest misconceptions that you hear about it?
Oh, that it's incredibly dangerous. People are scared, and another misconception is that people just kind of turn off to it, and they don't want to talk about it. Like I know. I've done the whole podcast circus. I've been on a bunch of podcasts, and you bring it up, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Well, it's okay to talk about it. Like it's
not going to hurt you talking about
it. It's that's the hardest thing is that there are some really talented and very, very cool people out there who it's not their thing, and that's okay. That's okay. And just as long as you're respectful about that. I'm kinky as can be, and but I don't force my kink onto anybody. That's the thing. Like seriously, I've seen and experienced wild, wonderful stuff, but I'm not gonna force it on to my family members or my my nieces and my nephews, and my friends, and stuff like that. Even though most of my friends are all kinky as can be, but like we're people. That's the thing. We're human beings, and we're just trying to get by, just like you. We just do it by a little different way, and it's consensual and it's helpful and it's fun.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like there's a lot of shame in the culture, and like it's just so undeserved. I feel like people should be natural about like whatever they like, no matter what it is. As long as you're not hurting anybody, what the fuck? Like, who cares? And I feel like a lot of people avoid finding their natural kinks because of shame.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially when it comes to certain things, like, for example, like, I'm not into pissing on people. I'm not into shitting on people, but some people are. You know what I mean? And if that's your thing, good. You know what? Like, have fun doing it. It's like it's
just put down a tarp.
Yeah.
Definitely put down some protective.
Make sure it's clean.
Yeah. And have cleanup materials ready.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And even when it comes to like gender stuff, if you're if you like to wear women's clothing, or if you're a woman who likes to wear men's clothing, like fucking do it. Like have fun doing it. And I'm having an upcoming show. This is going to be interesting. I'm having an upcoming show with people from Black People Kink, Pucks Aplenty, and Miss Charmus, and it's all going to be about Black fetishism. It's going to be about Black people in the fetish community, and I'm some middle-aged white guy who's going to host the whole thing. It's definitely going to be interesting, and I'm also doing the whole thing about Asian culture as well, but that's down the line. But so that's like it. It's important. Like let me put it this way: you will be a happier person and a more successful person, and people will benefit from knowing you if you embrace your sexuality and you do it in a consensual and a intelligent way. So please don't be afraid of doing that. Yeah.
And I guess a good place for them to start researching that and getting into it would be yourkinkyfriends.com, right?
Damn right. Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you want to plug, or places that people could find you?
Your Kinky Friends, go to yourkinkyfriends.com. You can find me on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. You can find me on Twitter at Fred's Kinky. Buy my books. Seriously, they're interesting. I like this. I'm very proud of them. The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself, and Your Kinky Friends and Chip Black Nail Polish. You can go on Amazon. You can find them. But just Your Kinky Friends, and do not hesitate to contact me. I seriously, I love to talk to people and stuff like that. And even if it's just like you're sending me pictures of kittens and sloths and shit, it's because you think it's funny, or a cool music video. I love that. I love that stuff. So yeah,
nice.
Contact me, and if you got to promote anything, if you want me to be interviewed, I'm here.
Definitely check them out, people, and we'll be keeping up on you, man. We'll be watching your interviews as they come along, and thanks again, man, for coming on.
Definitely, you should be on my show.
Oh,
totally.
Dude, we'll definitely come on, dude. You'll get some of our deep, dark secrets out.
Yeah.
Man.
Luna is she's a disciplinarian. She'll make sure that you confess.
Oh God! All right.
Be ready for that.
We'll accept the challenge.
Oh my God! This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Oh man, no, it was our pleasure, man. Hell
Thanks
yeah!
again.
And everybody listening, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, that's it.
There you go.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm psyching America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We slacking America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. Or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
Give me a minute. Think about the seconds that are passing. Man, I gotta go and get it, grab it. Why you gotta go and act a savage? Smoking weed, I gotta feed the habit. Now I'm on some other shit. Things that I gotta go get. Medical all on my slip. You falling like dominoes, bitch. Stuck in my ways, fucking high days, fucking sideways in the driveway.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm psyching America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We slacking America. We slacking America.